This is Marketing Jam, a show featuring the brightest minds in marketing. Marketing Jam is brought to you by Cyber Impact, the email marketing platform made specifically for Canadian small businesses. Go to cyberimpact.com/jelly, create a free account, and start sending CASL-compliant promotional emails in just a few clicks.
I want to welcome you to Marketing Jam. This is a very exciting one for me because I am a big fan of Bing, and people at my agency know that. I even get teased about it, and Chris and I are going to dive into why I get teased about it. But Chris is here. He's the America's Small to Medium Business Sales Manager. We met recently in Seattle, which is just south of Vancouver, Canada. And so he's joining us here on Skype, which is, again, one of Microsoft's products. And if you didn't know, Bing is one of Microsoft's products as well. And when I was down there in Seattle, I was not only there for a conference, but we were next door to Xbox testing area, which I wasn't allowed into. But I got myself a mug. So I have a nice Microsoft mug here. And I'm going to cozy on in. And Chris, we're going to jump right in.
Perfect.
Tell me about what your weeks look like as the role you played with Bing.
Oh boy. Well, they vary quite a bit, but they're always pretty crazy. So my role really entails running two of our sales teams focused on SMB businesses. Okay. So between those two teams, we have upwards of 5,000 or 6,000 accounts that we manage. So a lot goes into that. So both the program management, sales management, and my team, making sure our clients are happy, they're getting the experience they expect and they deserve on our platform, and from my account managers, and then just tons of internal planning and working on trainings, making sure that we keep challenging ourselves, getting better, and delivering the right product that you all expect and deserve.
It's awesome. Maybe if you could give people who don't maybe know Bing or have used Bing, like the history of it, because I know back in the day when the internet got going, there was like America Online, there was Ask Jeeves, right? There was Yahoo. And then your, famous Internet Explorer, it came with Bing, correct? Is that?
Well, not right out of the bat. Yeah, a lot of that, the browser itself, had kind of myriad different search options there, and then Google comes into prominence, and then Microsoft saw an opportunity there to enter the market, and so we decided to jump in with both feet, create Bing from there about 10 years or so ago, and with that we've grown to be about a third of the U.S. desktop market share, and growing rapidly. And recently you may have seen we'll be taking over search from Yahoo and Gemini as well. So was a partnership where we split that relatively equally. We'll be coming 100% over to Bing here around late March, early April. So we'll see an additional boost in market share then as well. But we try to differentiate ourselves and add some of that Microsoft DNA into what we do, into the search engine there. And, just seeing great strides, especially in the last few years as far as products we're shipping, features we're adding, and, really keeping that client focus or customer focus front and center.
Okay. In context for listeners and viewers here, I work in an agency, and we have dashboards of which we monitor quite closely to find out where is traffic coming from and where is converting traffic come from. And we continue to see, when we are marketing to senior citizens, an older demographic, Bing continues to be prominent. When we are marketing to a business community, Bing continues to be prominent. And Bing isn't going anywhere. And I remember when you guys launched Microsoft Edge, which was the new Internet Explorer, we saw a nice boost there of Bing traffic because people were using the new Internet Explorer product.
Absolutely. No, you nailed it. We definitely over-index on kind of more affluent and a little bit older demographic there on the search side. And, depending on your client base, and I know, it leans really favorably to the great stable of clients you have, it can be, just fantastic for agencies and for, even direct kind of going after that type of demo. And the B2B side as well. You think about like the dominant space that Microsoft has in that market. So folks who are using any of our Office suite, using Windows, more likely to have Edge installed, with Bing being that native browser in there as well. So, with Edge coming on board, we've seen a really nice spike, in some of that B2B traffic as well there.
So, Chris, I want to know, someone in your position,
Yes.
what are apps that you can't live without? What are apps that you use on the daily? Maybe for personal and business reasons.
Yeah, most of them selfishly, probably personal reasons. Probably too much Reddit, I think, for the most part. But yeah, let me see where, let's look through my most recent. Outlook for mail. Outlook app is like super killer, and not just as a Microsoft person. Teams is actually really strong as well. The chat on Teams mobile is really, really nice. Live in LinkedIn. Maybe spend a little too much time in my Robinhood account, doing a little gambling there. Lyft. I don't bring a car into the city ever, so always on the move there. My podcast apps, get heavy rotation. Spotify. I've been doing a lot more, trying to do a lot of meditation. So I've been kind of dabbling in some Headspace recently, which has been really nice for me as well. And then, as low tech as it is, I kind of live and die with my Notes app, just like the standard dedicated Notes app. But I have, it's my brainstorming, it's my note taking, it's remembering stuff for, the kids. And then lastly, and I really embrace this app even before the Microsoft acquisition, but Wunderlist. I think, I don't know if you ever used Wunderlist, but it like saved my marriage. So it's basically like a shareable task list. So, anytime I'm going to the store, I can, sync up with my wife on that. And then it's just, shared between your devices there. So really, really enjoy that one as well.
What's funny? I'm a notes guy as well. And so my wife and I have shared notes. So we have
smart.
R&D, Rose and Darian, Costco list. And then in notes, you can actually make lists that you can check off.
Oh, man. That's awesome. I'll have to explore that. That might lessen my app load a little bit there. But yeah, it's great, right? It's perfect because I'm a forgetter, and then don't check my text properly. So like I said, save my marriage on some of those.
That's really cool. And tell me about Headspace. What's it been doing for you as someone in tech? Why have you done that, or what's it like?
I'm just kind of one of those people where your mind races a lot, right? You're always thinking about things, probably the most inopportune time of when, forgot to respond to that email and it's 11:30 at night or something of that nature. And so, really kind of made a commitment to myself this year that I'd be just a little more mindful, right? Just, take those 10 minutes and not think about things and, really, more importantly, not, be kind of fiddling around on my phone or something. So just having, that dedicated time, the ability to really focus in, has been amazing for me. And it's really been good for my mindfulness. And, I can feel it my stress level really reducing with embracing some of those.
And you you use the Headspace app. And I know there's the Calm app as well, which is
I haven't tried that one. Yeah, I'll have to check that out as well. But it's incredible, like how much kind of bang for your buck you can get out of just like 5 or 10 minutes of, not doing anything. So.
Are you an Apple Maps or Google Maps or a Waze guy?
Oh man, Google Maps for the most part. Waze if we're road tripping somewhere with a little more highway access. But I'm horrible with directions. Like could not be worse. So most frequently I'm doing like walking directions with Google Maps and try not to get hit by a car or walk into the street or something. But that's a lifesaver for me.
Cool. Does Bing have something like that, like Google My Business, how there's a Google Maps and Google My Business have, Google Plus doesn't even exist anymore. They've all amalgamated. Right. Is there a Bing listing site that you recommend people list their business on?
Yeah, so you can definitely claim your businesses through like Webmaster Tools and your Bing Places account there.
Bing Places,
Yeah, so definitely recommend that for any, small business out there, marketer. You can then tie that to your search accounts as well with location extensions and things of that nature. Look in the coming months for maybe something a little more on the compete side on the GMB or, some of these features is, definitely an area we want to help support our customers for as well. But, if you have, those listings out there in Google, we definitely recommend to bring those over in Bing as well.
Okay. And someone who's interested in, considering advertising on Bing, what's a good place to start? Where can they go?
Yeah, just, visiting some of our helps resources. So, help.bing ads to get going. But, the one place I'd really recommend is, for those of you that are, advertising with Google, if you have a Google Ads account, we make it really easy to bring that account right over to Bing. So you can do an automated import through API. You just log into your account. You can choose what you want to bring over, which campaigns, which ad groups, what type of extensions you can bring over. And that's an automated way to do it really quick. And you can even schedule regular updates. You can say, hey, every week I want to be in parity with my Google account. So let's run an automated import, bring it over in bulk sheet, do it through editor, quite a few different ways that we can make sure that you have, your presence on Google then replicated over on Bing. So, really look to starting there. There'll be some subtleties on, bids and budgets. We wouldn't necessarily recommend coming in with your, Google non-brand bid amounts. You can start a little bit lower, see how that traffic comes in, and then yield up from there. But that's the easiest place to start. But just getting started, right? Do we want to start with, just brand terms and our top performing non-brand? Hey, great, bring it over. We, really stand behind our performance there. We think, any advertiser who's not on the platform, easily, come over, and I think they'll be definitely happy with the results. And, as you mentioned on the agency side, for agency folks, it just makes sense to have that level of parity. My background is an agency. I was an agency for about 3 or 4 years prior to coming to Bing, and it was something I really advocated with my clients as well. Right? If you had the opportunity to get an incremental boost of a third or more conversions without having to do a third or more work, really leaning into that kind of return on energy, let's just do it. Right? It makes the client happy. We're getting the same the results that they're looking for there. So, lots of ways to kind of get your foot in the door on Bing, but, just starting is the best place to go.
And I know we touched on it briefly, but what types of brands or industries or verticals do really well on Bing that you're seeing?
Yeah, retail does really well for us, especially as we build out some of our shopping capabilities. We had a phenomenal holiday season. Our clients and our advertisers had a phenomenal holiday season with that. Education is a really strong vertical for us.
Okay.
Pharmaceutical is a strong one for us. And so those are some really, some of the top of the line ones. Travel has been a really great growth area for us as well, especially as we're bringing in some of the hotel price ad capabilities that you may be, familiar with on the Google side. We've seen a nice bump there as well. So really, we're at parity for the most part as far as buying power with a lot of those verticals. But starting with the heavy hitters, travel, retail, you'll do really well on Bing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And as far as programs, do you have incentives or is there clubs you can join if you spend enough on Bing as an agency, or do you have a free vouchers that you offer for first timers?
Absolutely. So the Bing partner program is something that we really recommend agencies participating in, and so we have 3 tiers for that. We have Partner, Select, Elite, which cast a really wide net. So, even the smallest agencies have a place with us, and we are really invested in seeing that growth. And then the access you get through the partner program is fantastic. So, collateral for RFPs, ability to join marketing events, ability to, request training from folks over at Bing. And then, as you mentioned, some vouchers or offers for new accounts, bringing those on as well. So, we try to take care of you from, the savviest, largest, down to folks just getting started, need a little extra nudge.
Cool. And agencies that are watching and listening right now, how do they go? Where do they go to get started on something like this?
Yeah, I'd visit, like I said, the help.bingads.com site. That'll kind of be, give you the ability to, find the links that make the most sense for you. There'll be links out to some of the agency pages. Search for Bing Partner Program. It'll come up. It'll give you, a way to look to see your eligibility for there. If you have an account manager, if you have dedicated account service, definitely check there as well. And then, even touch base with our help and support teams. We really pride ourselves in the level of support we offer. You'll get, a real person on the phone or chat, and they can, check for your eligibility or give you the guidance that you need to get to those partner levels.
That's cool. And is a lot of Bing sent and worked out of Seattle? Is that where your team is and support people are?
Yeah, we're global. There's a ton of operations, sales, engineering that happen, right around here.
Yeah.
The bulk of our team is in Bellevue and Redmond, Washington.
Yeah.
But we have, sales teams all over the globe.
Yeah.
Domestically here in the States, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Texas, a couple of California outposts. And then
Any
globally.
Canadian?
We do. We have office in Toronto, and
Nice.
looking to expand that actually pretty aggressively here with a new Microsoft office. I think coming on board in the next few years. But the our heart of Canadian operations is in Toronto, and they're a phenomenal team. But yeah, we have a global presence, which is really cool. So we have teams in Dublin and Sydney that do a lot of the same work I do here domestically, do in those regions as well. So we have you covered.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you were to describe to someone, like, when you explain that you work at Bing and what you do at Bing, how would you describe in your words, how you differentiate yourself between yourself and Google? Like what would be the difference be?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And when you think about kind of my day to day, or kind of maybe more in my SMB world, we don't necessarily look at it as a competition or differentiation, right? We just want to help people. Our company motto is empower every person on the planet to do more, and I take that to heart. I really enjoy working with the accounts that we have the privilege to work with here. Working with SMBs is such a different experience than working with a really large entity, right? It's one thing to make a Fortune 10 company, an extra couple $100,000, but when you can, really work with a small business to hire a new employee, or to make sure that they don't have to worry about, sending their kids to college, or, just be successful and be, be better today than they were yesterday type of thing. It's so exciting. And so, that's where our focus is. It's really laser focused, blinders on of just being better and making sure our clients are thrilled with what we're delivering for them.
That's really cool. And working in the Microsoft ecosystem, any perks of getting like access to Xboxes or getting to play Minecraft?
Not too much. Yeah.
No.
It's an amazing experience. Historically I've been at, smaller businesses, definitely not the scale of Microsoft. And, when I came here about 3.5 years ago, it was like mind blowing. It's like a sandbox. There's so many cool things and so many opportunities, and it's really incredible. Some of the technology we get access to kind of play around with, whether it's HoloLens or some of the AI programs they're working on. It's really exciting to kind of be able to see and feel the future, and know that you're part of helping that come to fruition. But I have not, unfortunately, been able to get any cool early access to games or any free Xboxes yet. Unfortunately, I got to meet the right people. I need to do better internal networking.
Have you bumped into or run into Bill Gates?
No Bill Gates, unfortunately. Okay. No, I did get to spend a little time with our CMO, Chris Capicella, about a year or two ago, and he was doing a little bit of shadowing once our org came underneath him, and that was incredible. And that was probably as close as I'll get. He was actually Bill Gates's speechwriter in the 90s, and just kind of a historic Microsoft figure. So that was my brush with greatness.
So when I was at your office, I went downstairs, and where there's that cool Minecraft display, and there was a series of computers set up that scanned my face and told me what dog I look like. Is that something? Tell me about that. Expand on what are those websites? Because there was a few of them.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And so those are part of our AI cognitive services. So we have, what type of dog are you? We have one that kind of recognizes emotion. So you can put a face in there, and it's like, oh, you're angry. And one that does age as well, which is kind of cool. And it comes creepily close. So these are all tied to our AI services. And so these, we have these kind of open source API AI cognitive services, and, really kind of putting like a whimsical touch on those, so folks can kind of really start to dip their toe into AI and what that means. I think a lot of times we don't think of, some of that facial recognition or things, tied directly to AI. And so it's kind of a nice conduit into that of really seeing the capabilities there. But that's a fun one. What dog were you? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I think we'll try to post the links to those websites here, because there was a few of them that were really fun to go on.
For sure. I'll follow up.
Especially if you have kids or just want to have some fun at the office.
Did do them with my kid. I think my daughter was a terrier and my son was like a Cocker Spaniel or something. And I could see that. It's very accurate.
Cool. And going into this next year, what are trends that you're seeing when it comes to searching and online search ads?
Yeah, for us, it's really a lot of it's based around audience, right? Being in the right place at the right time to the right person. And so we've done a great job with some of our solutions around in-market audiences, improvements to our remarketing capabilities. There's some pilots coming down the pipeline around similar audiences that I'm very excited about, some customer match. So I think that's going to be a big pillar of what we'll be working on. And then with our Microsoft Audience Network as well, the MSAN offering we have, which is our display offering across MSN, and Outlook, and some of our other properties. So look for a big expansion for that in the coming years.
And does it roll into LinkedIn as well?
We do have some LinkedIn targeting capabilities. So this is kind of where the equilibrium or the synergies are starting to, come together. So we have the ability to target, a few of the LinkedIn profile options, such as industry, job title, and company as well. So you can layer those onto your search and MSAN campaigns.
Which is pretty awesome.
It's amazing. Can't get anywhere else. So yeah, it's incredible. And our advertisers flipping for it. They love it.
Okay. And marketers who are out there watching, listening, what are podcasts that you'd recommend, and any books, magazines, or e-newsletters that they should be subscribed to?
Oh man, well, the e-newsletters, all the usual suspects, Search Engine Land, anything around those are ones I subscribe to. Ad Age is a big one for me. SEM Watch, any of those, kind of the historic ones are ones I really spend a lot of time with. I get a ton of my information now through LinkedIn as well. They've really upped some of those daily briefs, and then just with the folks and personalities I follow in there, I'm getting a ton of great information through that. Cool. As well. So, those are big ones. Your podcast is fantastic. Some of the personalities and brands you have on there, you can't miss out with that. But, even, some of the potentially more cliche ones, 4-Hour Work Week or things like that, I get a lot of motivation or little kind of quick tips and tricks out of those as well. So, really, if you have a commute ahead of you or some free time, tune in there as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. And could we look this next year for Bing doing a roadshow or coming in and doing some training for agencies in person, or is it going to be more one-on-one that we can look forward to?
Yeah, we try to do a lot of one-to-many. So, kind of hub those out in different geos across U.S., Canada, and then globally as well. Yeah. If you do have that Bing rep, it's always worth an ask. If we're in the area, if we have a trainer out, we love to spend time with our clients and our agencies, especially. We learn as much, if not more, from you all than we can deliver. So, definitely put that ask out there, and if we can execute on that and make it work, we'd love to do that.
Cool. I know that your job is on the ad side, right?
Yes.
And people paying to show up in the top with the sponsored posts and sponsored listings. But any tips or advice that you give someone who wants to show up organically on Bing?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of putting some effort into it. I think a lot of times we, spend a lot of time on the Google side, and, we just may not think about that Bing Webmaster account and really optimizing for that, and, adjusting our crawl rates and, getting up to speed there. So really just getting to baseline, I think is a really good place to start for the first couple months of 2019, start to assess those results. And then, there's no secret sauce necessarily that's going to differentiate itself for general SEO on Google or anything of that nature, but follow those basic best practices, engage with the platform, follow our webmaster accounts on Twitter and social media, and if you have questions, I know our webmaster team loves to interact with those SEO folks out there, so please feel free to contact us.
That's awesome. Yeah. And Chris, anything else you want to leave our listeners and viewers?
Just a big thank you. This job and this role is such a privilege for me because I get to work and interact with folks like you. At the end of the day, we're just kind of all people helping people out there and trying to be our best, our best agency self or our best business self. And, that's where we like to be as well. So, just a big thank you. And, we hope to continue cultivating this relationship and have some new updates for you as the months go by in 2019 and through to 2020.
It's awesome. And congrats on Yahoo and all the other successes with Bing and what's coming down the pipe.
Thank you very much. Now we're excited about that, and I hope your listeners are excited as well, and hope they take advantage of that traffic here this spring.
Yeah. So every time I mention to clients about Bing, most of them are quite surprised and shocked that it's still making a big difference, but it is. Sure. And so, Chris, thank you so much for shining some light on what I think is a very important topic and a very important search engine. As we talk about omni-channel marketing, let's not forget about Bing. And the advertising opportunities sound like they're just maturing and becoming more and more strategic, and especially the tie-in with LinkedIn. You know, it sounds like you guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the years to come. So
we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you. Thank you, everyone who tuned in to Marketing Jam, and we'll see you next time. Marketing Jam. This was Chris from Bing. See ya.